Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. Today I want to give you an energy update, some guidance for this time right now. So since the recent new moon, we've begun to receive great support for life's upgrades. So those life's upgrades, we'll talk more about them later. They may be like upgrades in our lifestyle, upgrades in our routines and habits as we're moving into the time of spring, where many people kind of prepare themselves for blooming, for the season, for the change in their habits, for becoming maybe more active or change in certain way they approach their life so they can be more in alignment with themselves, more kind of in clarity. So you may feel deeply driven to update your discipline with fresh routines and rituals that align more closely with your life's vision and calling. The themes are clarity, goal-oriented focus, and groundedness. If you organize yourself to address these three aspects, many breakthroughs will follow. Meditate on clarity, reflect on goals and improvement, of course, and engage in activities that ground your consciousness deeper into your body so you can express it, such as sports, breathing, or other movement practices. So you remember that no idea works until you do the work, right? You get the idea, so you learn to embody it, embrace it, and express it, form it, shape it, and do something out of it. So the reason that we have this type of an energy right now is like it serves as an activation for you to make next moves in your life with more clarity, more alignment, and more discipline. And discipline may mean for you to really be a bit more truthful and honest with yourself and become consistent with the things that you believe that may work in your life. But you can only see if they work if you try them and you keep them in balance. For example, if you set a certain workout routine for yourself and you see where you're maybe pushing yourself too hard or too little, you start balancing yourself. Like if you're too hard on yourself and it leads you to exhaustion, and exhaustion leads you to too much of pain, and too much of pain leads you to resentment, or it may lead you to losing the faith in yourself, and it may lead you into laziness, and then you quit doing everything. Make sure that you start it with a bit more gentleness and do it in a way that is a bit kinder towards your body, and also vice versa. If you're doing too little for yourself, you will not fully ground yourself into your body, and therefore most of the time you may feel like you're not really here present, like you're wandering in your mind, but you don't really ground that energy. So usually for people like that, it may be a bit harder to take care of the space around them, to take care of themselves. They're neglecting self-care and so on. And to really be in alignment with yourself right now means that you balance the, let's say, the mental and the psychological aspect of yourself with your physical self. To find this center of clarity where you sit down and really make a plan how you want to invest your time in these future weeks. And notice what could be the first new routines that you could start. Is this the balance of your sleeping rhythm? Because on the northern hemisphere the day is getting longer. So I know for myself, usually during this time I start changing my morning and before bed routines. I adapt them a little bit. I balance my sleeping cycles, because during the winter there's, the day is so much shorter that I go to sleep much sooner than during the summer, for example. So during this time, just yesterday I've sit down and I've structured some new morning routines, and I've started practicing some new before bed routines. And to give you an example for that may help someone who is just building something like that is that in the morning now, first thing I do is I wake up, I put my running shoes on, and I go outside for a run or for a walk. Depends of the day. If I have a workout day, I will go for a run. If I have the rest day, I will go for a walk, and then I will do some stretching and so on. So after that, I will do a meditation, and after that, I will take time for journaling, planning, reading. So this is a part of my new morning routine. And before bed routine is that at least 1 hour before I go to bed, I will take time for winding down, for some meditation, for some journaling around the blissful things that happen in my day. So I train my focus to see more of the good stuff that happened, more of the good moments, the blissful moments, the magical moments. And often I'm just surprised like how many things happen that later I've just forgotten about them, but sometimes they were really, synchronic. Sometimes they were really wonderful, and I felt a great sense of gratitude when it happened. And when I reflect on it before I go to sleep, it just reminds me of how many wonderful things are happening as the feedback of the positive change that I'm making in my life. And it just helps me to see more of that. So it may be an example, for you to find out what may even more improve your life. So it's all about noticing where could you make even more alignment. So you can look at alignment as this coherent energy, Incoherent energy may be experienced as confusion, as stress, as tension within you. And every time you notice confusion, tension, stress, it's because there is an incoherent energy present. An incoherent energy will manifest in unhealthy habits, unhealthy behaviors, unhealthy belief systems, and approaches, reactions to life. So if you're able to reflect on this, you don't need to, change all of them immediately, but find one, like maybe a habit with your diet, or a habit with your sleep, or a habit with your morning time, like what you do when you wake up. Could you improve something there? Or maybe your approach towards finances, or your approach towards other people, could you improve something there? And could you make a certain habit that could help you to improve a mindset there, or to improve your attitude, or to raise your emotional state towards life? Could you do something there? Like, could you start applying certain meditation routine that could help you? Or maybe some barefoot walking in the morning on the grass field, or whatever. Or maybe run, if you go for a run. All these different practices will ground more of your consciousness into your body. So when you're fully present in your body, usually it's experienced after a good workout, after a good run, or after a good conversation, or after a good meal. You feel fully present in your body. And what's the difference? Well, the difference is that you feel better, you feel more focused, you feel like you want to do certain things, you want to do more good things in your life. You're kinder towards others, you're more present with others, and you're more motivated to make some other positive changes in your life. So that's how you experience yourself being fully present. And this energy right now is really supporting yourself being grounded in your body. Many people actually don't want to be grounded in their bodies because, well, if you're more intuitive person, or more daydreaming type of a person, more artist, more creative, more deep thinker, often you don't want to be grounded in your body. And I feel you, because I am often like that. I'm often thinking about great ideas. Often I'm thinking about how will I continue with the painting project that I'm working on, or I'm thinking about certain concepts that I could share with you. So often I find myself being in my mind. So what helped me to navigate myself through life is to really set boundaries. So when I'm in my mind, I will not hanging with other people, because if I do that, I will be irritated. I will not be communicative. I will be somewhere out there, and not a good state to be around people, because I just become more vulnerable emotionally for whatever is happening around me. So I have times for my daydreaming, I have time for deep thinking, I have time for creating. And I've kind of organized myself that when I feel I need to do some of this deep thinking and to be a bit more in my mind, to brainstorm, I will be alone, I will be closed in my studio, or I will be meditating, or I will be, working on finding clarity through meditation or through walks alone. So I spend a lot of time alone because of that, because I'm functioning like that, and I love that about myself. It makes me really creative. But then I have times when I really ground myself, and I love to be around others. I love to be social, and I will, find myself having great joy to connect and to be in my body, to exercise, to move, to breathe, to eat good food, and to really enjoy life. So it's all about finding this wonderful balance that can only happen if you understand yourself. So how you're functioning, understanding why you often don't want to be grounded in your body, and how does it feel when you're not grounded in your body. Usually it feels, to me, when I'm not grounded in my body, it feels like I just want to escape in my mental world where I'm creating this concept. So I've learned that this process doesn't become like escaping from this world. It becomes more like exploring and deep thinking, and yeah, maybe exploring is the best word. But then I come back here and I ground myself, and I remind myself I only have all these great creative capacities because through them I can channel great ideas into this world. So you need to have a certain outlet, right? You need to have an outlet so you can channel your ideas, you can channel your creativity. And this time may help you to discipline yourself the way that you, firstly, that you expand an understanding of yourself. So you can also then kind of form your life the way, your routines, your habits, the way that will be really supportive for the way you're functioning. That's very interesting because just right now, or actually yesterday, I finished my latest painting called I See You. And towards the end of the video, you will notice that this painting is made out of fragments, out of pieces. And each piece has a different pigment of color. In the middle, there's an eye, and this eye represents knowing. It represents understanding, which is like a drive and motivation of wisdom. And then the bottom part of the painting holds within more masculine colors, and the upper part of the painting holds within more feminine colors, which kind of reminds us that understanding arises when we're in balance, when we are in coherence. And that's truly where wisdom takes place, and we start to see the bigger picture of why we needed to go through struggles, why we needed to feel shattered at some time. So slowly we would learn to put pieces of ourselves back together, and that's when we come across understanding. Once we understand, we can share it, right? We can embody, we can share it, we can help someone. And that's the moment when we truly embody a sense of purpose. So for many people right now, you may feel in a certain, let's say, stage of your life where those things may seem more familiar to you, but they're still not clear. And they're not clear because you're still putting pieces of yourself together. It's not that one day we just become complete. It's like there's always something more we can find out, right? But we're all walking towards a greater wholeness. And this wholeness doesn't happen just by intellectual understanding, as many people sometimes think they now understand everything. Like, now I'm awake and now I understand everything. It comes from also embodying them and being an example of that understanding, living a life of coherence, having an environment in which you feel coherent, being coherent with others, and so on and so on. So it's a process, it's a journey, it's a process. But right now with this present energy, we may feel more driven to design our lives, like to upgrade our lives as we're moving from winter into this, spring season. It's a great time for change, great time for updates. And start with your morning, how you start your day or how you wish to start your day, and maybe write down some ideas that could help you to change. Like something I did yesterday was that I wrote down my clear goals, like what I'm working on right now, what I wish to accomplish right now, or who I wish to become, how I want to feel. And I wrote down clarity around goals. So that's how we come deeper into clarity. If you don't have clarity around that, meditate a little bit, set an intention, like what I really want to experience. And those are more like short-term goals. So you don't say to yourself, I will be a millionaire, and you're not even working on anything that could expand your finances. So start small, like I will start this business idea, or I will find a new job, or whatever it is. Find clarity around it. How you want to feel. Do you want to feel more peace? Do you want to feel more joy? Do you want to feel more excitement, more adventure, whatever it is? Have clarity. And then on the second thing, what I did was I wrote down who I am today, like what I'm doing today, and especially what are the aspects of myself that I would like to change, like what are certain behaviors I don't like. So since we've moved, my routines were a bit shattered. I was not so consistent with my workouts and so on. So I've noticed, okay, this is something I want to change. And I've also noticed I was not so consistent with my diet. I could make some improvements there. And everything that I've noticed that I could change, I could upgrade. Like if I really want to get these results that I've set for myself, I need to change something about myself, because who I am today is manifesting what I have today. So I wrote down who I am today and the parts of my life right now that I want to change. So then the third thing, what I did was that I wrote down who I am as the future self and what I'm doing differently as that future version of myself, which gave me clarity around who I am becoming and what I'm doing differently. Because you know that nothing changes until you change, right? Nothing changes until you change something about yourself. You accept and notice and become aware of what is not in alignment with you anymore, and then you lead it into change, right? And you practice it, and you can only practice what you're clear about, what you know about yourself. You can change it and practice it differently. And then when you know why you're doing it, you will easily become devoted to it, devoted to change. And eventually the change will become a new nature, and it will become a new you. And that's when you become a different you. And a different you has a different energy imprint. And that different energy imprint will create a change in your life. You will see results of it. So that's something you may feel very, very aligned to right now and very supported. So do the work, my friend, and do it for yourself. Do it out of love for yourself. So I'm happy for you, for anyone who's doing that, because when you change something about yourself for the better, you change a part of the world for the better. When one person heals, that person heals a part of the world. We're all interconnected. And every time we do something positive for ourselves, we do something positive for the world. And eventually we become a great example of our own philosophy. And that's what really leads us into more changes. So my friends, I hope you found great value in today's video. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power, and wishing you all the best on your journey. And I hope you've enjoyed in my latest painting. I See You is the name of it. I See You is a very special painting symbolically. It appears to be composed of pieces with no perfect shape or form, but rather random patterns with different colored pigments that eventually come together to complete the whole painting. It demonstrates how, through the expansion of our understanding in life, we begin to put the pieces together and eventually our lives start to make sense. The I in the painting represents knowing, which is the goal and motivation of wisdom, to know, to understand, right? One can only understand oneself if they were first shattered into pieces and then learn to put those pieces back together. The rest of the meaning I leave to the observer. That is the story behind it, something I wrote down as I finished it. And this one is very powerful to me, when you look at it, it radiates and it makes you radiate. So check it out. It's now published on our site AttractPassion.com, where you can see photos of it, and if you would like to get a copy of it, it's now available in different sizes. The original one is also available now, so go and check it out and let me know the feedback. Do you feel the same energy, or does it make you feel like you sense a deeper essence within you? Like you sense a part of you that maybe you can't put into words, but you just feel it when you look at it. That's how I feel when I look at it. And it makes me feel very at peace and very grounded. So let me know your thoughts about it. And my friends, to anyone who would love to work with me one-on-one, I'm offering coaching sessions. So you can book a calling on the link in the description of this video. Check it out. Until next time, one love.